Hi everyone, this is my presentation for assignment 3, presentation of line art done in 3 distinct styles. For my subject I chose a rooster. I chose this subject in part because it was a little bit different, a little bit outside of my comfort zone, and I thought in particular it kind of represented the idea of something that might be assigned to me as a graphic artist rather than something I would choose to do. So here in version 1 you can see that I have really stripped down the essential lines of the rooster. So I don't have a lot of detail, don't have any texture. These are just kind of outlines of core features of the animal. Now in doing this I chose a calligraphic style using a watercolor brush effect, and then I did that one in black, but you can see here that it really shows up as a gray. This is a very soft but very animated piece. I think using that watercolor brush effect really gives it some movement. It really helps it to kind of pop in terms of character, and it comes alive. So in that sense it feels a little bit cartoonish. Not in the sense that it's childish, but that it's playful and animated, and I hope and engaging. I really picture this being used as a way of engaging the consumer or the viewer, perhaps less than some other pieces where we just kind of take them in, but this is actually kind of inviting you to think about who this character could be. I have several colored versions of this piece as well. This is actually on the left an orange, but because of that softness of the watercolor brush, it really appears as a yellow, and I think that's something just to be aware of, that that softness really lends to that playfulness and that aliveness of the character, but it also does mean that we want to be thoughtful about what kind of colors and backgrounds that this piece would go on, because it is going to need something that's really going to pop, more like this blue in the center that has a little bit more substance to it. Even this purple on the right is going to stand out, but could appear a little bit muted in I guess the wrong circumstances. Now my second piece, I chose to do a rooster that was a little bit more fierce, and so in this one I envisioned kind of being used as more of a sports logo, or something a little bit more where you want that intensity and that fierceness. I tried to create that fierceness by really bringing that line of sight from the eyes through the center, and really darkening that beak and the center of the body to really kind of pull everything through to that point, so that you really got the sense of an intensity and fierceness coming through, as opposed to that softer, more playful piece that we saw in the beginning. Now this piece I actually think can translate well to color. So here we have 3 primary colors, but instead of feeling a little bit drowned out, I think that it actually can translate well and can really still pull through that sense of intensity while being in a color and not in black and white. Now for my third piece, seen here, again it's that same profile of the rooster that I had from the first piece, although they're mirrored, and this is much more realistic than that first piece was. But here I have really tried to work in the style of Vincent van Gogh, and as such I think that this is a really a piece that would be used for perhaps a more intellectual piece, use in engaging people who are a little bit more attuned to art history or to cultural things, because I really think it pulls out that engagement with the history of Van Gogh, the history of art in general, kind of pulling on that Impressionism. I really enjoyed making this piece. I used a spatter brush effect, and I think that really captures the essence of Van Gogh's work, but it also really captures character for the rooster. It really kind of creates this portrait, almost very noble and I think very, very majestic animal here. This piece I also think, well, it took, they all took time. This one in particular, I think, really conveys a sense of meaning because it does look like it took time. And to that end, I want to think about how, that first piece that I showed you has a lot of movement and a lot of engagement because it feels fast-paced, whereas this one actually makes me want to kind of engage with it and sit and ponder. So here we have two pieces that really, while they're the same subject, brought from the same picture, really convey vastly different things. And that is kind of really the beauty of thinking through how do we want to engage the subject and the viewer through these different styles of work. So I would really value any feedback that you have for just how to continue to evolve and work with these pieces, and particularly any places where you feel like this can really grow to suit the needs of the business. Thank you.